Hello everyone, what you see there is an AR-15 that's been America's rifle since the 60s. Created by American engineer Eugene Stoner, who was in the airline industry. He found a way to use the lightest materials, strongest materials, and made would be one of the best ever military weapons ever made. It's been used by military since the 60s and used by militaries all over around the world and pretty much almost every police department in America. It is called America's gun. Lightweight, reliable, durable, very accurate, and can be accessorized in many ways. But as anyone would tell you, the AR-15 is one pain in the neck to keep clean and get clean. The bolt carrier, and the start chamber alone are difficult, and the fact that you got all the tiny crevices inside the receiver area, and it's a lot of work. But that product right there in front of you, XF7, makes AR-15 cleaning a lot easier. Since I've been using this stuff, cleaning my AR-15 is a lot easier and not the tedious, ridiculous task it used to be. So why not have the Great American Rifle get cleaned by a Great American Cleaner? XF7, made by Donald Christie of North Carolina, and he also has a place over here in Massachusetts. It's waterproof, no petroleum, all natural, O-ring friendly, non-toxic. So if you have a nose of a bloodhound like my wife does, she no longer complains about Hoppy's number 5 or bowel stall. This stuff smells like, the board cleaner, like Bailey's Irish Cream. The spray lubricant smells like either orange or Hunter's Blend, which smells like topsoil. So I highly recommend it. Go to xf7gungrease.com, order yours today. You will not be sorry. And tell Don Christie I sent you. Lock and load. Alright, let's go back. Hello everyone, welcome back to the video, and today we're going to do a review of the Midwest Industries mount. This one replaced my Baraska mount made in China. I can tell you this has been far better. I've had to adjust this mount how many times now? 0. I've been able to take this thing off, put it back on, and pretty much this, until it recently broke, the RS-29, would maintain 0. Now it lists on the Midwest Industries for $160 brand new, which is pretty pricey for a mount. But being out for an optic to work on an AK, you need a top flight mount. I already went the cheap route a few times. It has not worked out for me. I ended up just selling them back on eBay, taking a loss on it, and ended up getting some good anyway. But you try to find these now anywhere, eBay, they're going for over $200. That's how big they are. Most sites, they are sold out. I was able to buy this from Brownhouse. Just got a shipment. I bought it at $110 with free shipping, so I got lucky there. In fact, I ended up buying 2 of them. Sold off 3 others for about $90, so it ended up costing me
About $160 for 2 of them. So, it is what it is. Anyway, it's made of 1913, I think, called steel. It's a 1913 mount style rail. Very easy to take on and off. It's got this tab here. Pull that down. Comes off real easy. Here's the adjustment right here. Just push up and loosen or tighten according to what you need. Very easy to put down. Let me tell you something. Once you get the setting you need, this ain't moving. It is that good. And what I like about this, because it sits very, very low on the dust cover, the negative is that you gotta take this up to clean your AK pretty much. But at the same time, if you gotta throw this off and use your size of the mount, you can't do it. This sits low enough where, well, I can't show it here, but you can use your standard iron sights with this mount if you wanted to. You wouldn't have to take it off. It's possible. Whereas with the Baraska and the other cheap mounts I use, they sit higher, and you gotta take the whole thing off. And of course, once you take off a cheap mount off, the whole thing about trying to adjust it just right, getting it to stay on, and having to re-zero your red dot reflex light, it gets old after a while. So, like I've said in my videos, I love the AK, but there's a reason why I would go with the AR, and that's one, I spent more time because this is what I do in my department. But you can just easily mount more stuff on it without needing a mount like this. And it's just the way it is. And of course, something like this, you cannot co-witness it unless you get a Midwest or Troy rail tube, which they have, and we'll be doing a review, not in a few days, not a review, but a first shots thing on my C39 V2. But man, high quality right here. You know, ironically, the Chinese make great AKs, but their AK mounts really suck, whereas the Americans do not make real good AKs yet, but they've made some of the best mounts for the AK I have had. So far, this is my favorite one. I'm sure there are others out there, but I decided to splurge and finally get a good mount for my AK. And right now, I am not sorry I bought this whatsoever. Again, it's made right here in the United States. It's got a 1913 type rail. I mean, they're numbered over here. Not if you can see it. Here you go. T2, T4, T6, and on, so on and so forth, up to T16. It feels real good on the rifle. The weight distribution with this is just right. So Midwest Industries did spend a lot of time into making this thing, and they did a hell of a job. I love the locking mount, the quick detach mount, and this lever right here to it's like a locking lever there. You lift that before you pull this down. Slides off, slides back on. Very easy. So, would I recommend this mount? Absolutely. Do not spend the extra money and get yourself a good mount in your AK if you want to do a reflex or a red dot or a scope. A mount is everything. You can have the best sighting system in the world, red dot or reflex, but if you have a crappy mount, you're not going to maintain zero. And that's a lesson I learned from buying cheap Chinese-made AK mounts, which are now all gone, thank God. I like to say I found my mount. Once I find something that works, like my Aimpoint Pros, now I think I found my mounts for my AK-47, my Midwest Industries. Like I said, they're going for about well over a couple $100 now on eBay if you can find them, but well worth it. That's all I can say right now, folks. It's a mount. It's sturdy, it's well made, it's expensive, it's worth it, and it works great. It maintains zero, assuming you have a much better reflex or red dot sight on or a top-notch scope. And despite that, you can really actually find a way to take the dust cover off without taking this thing off. But like I said, trying to put it back on, yeah, it's definitely going to have to come off then. But Brownells had them for about $109.95, which is about $50 off the MSRP Midway Industry has on their site. And I had free shipping on mine, which was cool. But I'll do another review of this later with a much better red dot or reflex sight on it. I am going to get another red dot. The review on the RS-29 is coming up very shortly, and because the mount's so good, I am now going to award my rifle with a much better red dot or reflex. Just not sure which one yet. I only paid $26 for free shipping for that one, so we're definitely going to increase the quality of the sight on this Wassa 10. Alright everyone, protect your loved ones. Train hard. Spend a lot of money train. Not only to practice your accuracy, your tactics, but to see how good your equipment is. Jesus Christ is still king, God's in control, and we'll see you next video.